The year is 735 BC. This landscape shows the fertile terrain that formed the core of the northern kingdom of Israel, known prophetically as Ephraim. They are on the verge of a catastrophic geopolitical crisis. Isaiah chapter 28, verse 1 states, "Woe to the crown of pride, to the drunkards of Ephraim, whose glorious beauty is a fading flower, which are on the head of the fat valleys of them that are overcome with wine." Isaiah uses a specific metaphor here. He depicts the nation as an intoxicated man wearing a floral crown that is actively withering on his head. The text highlights a society consumed by its own wealth and appetites. Pride and systemic indulgence have hollowed out the nation's spiritual core. Ephraim once held the status of the nation of the birthright, possessing immense cultural and religious strength. On the eve of this invasion, they have become a hollow shell of their former greatness. The impending geopolitical collapse of Samaria manifests as the late-stage symptom of a spiritual death that has already occurred. With the internal rot established, Isaiah shifts our attention to the external threat massing at their borders. He frames the approaching Assyrian army as an unstoppable natural disaster, a dark, violent storm rolling relentlessly through the valley. Isaiah chapter 28, verse 2 states, "Behold, the Lord hath a mighty and strong one, which as a tempest of hail and a destroying storm, as a flood of mighty waters overflowing, shall cast down to the earth with the hand." This stone relief provides historical evidence of the mighty and strong one Isaiah is referencing, the Assyrian war machine, which conducted a ruthless campaign against Ephraim between 734 and 722 BC. The text makes a critical distinction regarding this invasion. These Assyrian movements operate under the explicit authorization of the Lord. Isaiah chapter 28, verse 21 states, "For the Lord shall rise up as in Mount Perazim, he shall be wroth as in the valley of Gibeon, that he may do his work, his strange work, and bring to pass his act, his strange act." The prophet refers to this as God's strange work. This is a deliberate reversal of expectations regarding how the Lord protects his people. This creates a stark theological paradox. The Lord is deploying a pagan foreign superpower to overthrow his own covenant people. Divine discipline functions as a precise use of geopolitical pressure, calibrated to achieve specific results rather than random vengeance. Around 735 BC, the focus moves south to the kingdom of Judah and the city of Jerusalem, then under the rule of King Ahaz. Isaiah chapter 28, verse 14 states, "Wherefore hear the word of the Lord, ye scornful men, that rule this people which is in Jerusalem." These rulers mock prophetic warnings. They are convinced that survival depends entirely on their own crafty statecraft and military intelligence. Isaiah chapter 28, verse 15 states, "Because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death, and with hell are we at agreement. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us. For we have made lies our refuge, and under falsehood have we hid ourselves." The covenant with death and hell, or Sheol, serves as Isaiah's metaphor for their supreme political arrogance. They operate as if they have struck a binding legal contract that grants them immunity to destruction. They assume their network of human alliances, often looking to foreign powers like Egypt, will provide an impenetrable shield against the coming Assyrian scourge. Diplomatic arrogance creates a fatal blind spot. It leads nations to trust in political falsehoods while ignoring divine reality. In response to this fragile architecture of lies, God introduces a structural countermeasure. Isaiah chapter 28, verse 16 states, "Therefore thus saith the Lord God, Behold, I lay in Zion for a foundation a stone, a tried stone, a precious cornerstone, a sure foundation. He that believeth shall not make haste." We see this visualized on Mount Moriah. This is a tested, secure bedrock designed to hold the weight of an entire structure without shifting. Prophetically, this sure foundation acts as a type for Christ and his temple. Those who base their trust on this tested cornerstone remain steady, avoiding the fearful and hasty decisions that lead to false escapes. Isaiah chapter 28, verse 18 states, "And your covenant with death shall be disannulled, and your agreement with hell shall not stand. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, then ye shall be trodden down by it. The survival delusions held by Jerusalem's leadership face absolute failure. Their political contracts will void immediately upon contact with the enemy. The Assyrian war machine behaves like a relentless flood, physically treading down the Judean forces as it moves. Any geopolitical strategy built in opposition to divine counsel is structurally flawed. When tested by pressure, it will be swept away. To explain the phased nature of his geopolitical actions, the Lord offers the parable of the husbandman, beginning in verse 23. This painting illustrates the subject, an ancient farmer standing in his field. Isaiah chapter 28, verse 24 states, "Doth the plowman plow all day to sow? Doth he open and break the clods of his ground?" Agricultural logic dictates that tearing up the soil is only the first phase. A farmer understands that a harvest requires more than perpetual plowing. This correlates directly to God's methods. He interacts with his covenant people through a variety of means, moving beyond simple destruction. Isaiah chapter 28, verse 26 states, "For his God doth instruct him to discretion, and doth teach him." The Lord provides man with the nuanced intelligence required for the art of husbandry. Just as a farmer applies discretion to determine when to plow and when to plant, the Lord applies precise wisdom to the judgment of nations. The parable moves from the plowing of the field to the most delicate stage of the agricultural cycle, the threshing floor. Isaiah chapter 28, verse 27 states, "For the fitches are not threshed with a threshing instrument, neither is a cartwheel turned about upon the cumin, but the fitches are beaten out with a staff, and the cumin with a rod." Look at the fragility of these cumin seeds. A farmer taps these delicate spices gently, sparing them from heavy machinery. Theologically, each nation is judged by its capacity. Some require gentle correction, others the heavy sledgehammer of a Babylonian exile. Isaiah chapter 28, verse 28 states, "Bread corn is bruised, because he will not ever be threshing it, nor break it with the wheel of his cart, nor bruise it with his horsemen." Israel is classified as the bread corn. Their strength requires a severer chastisement, so they are bruised by the weight of the cartwheel. Even under this immense pressure, God limits the force. He stops short of crushing the bread corn into worthless powder. The ultimate goal of the threshing floor is the preservation of the vital grain. The process strips away the useless chaff while leaving the core intact. Isaiah chapter 28, verse 29 states, "This also cometh forth from the Lord of hosts, which is wonderful in counsel and excellent in working." This meticulous, intelligent calibration of geopolitical pressure, applied to protect and gather Israel, stands as the ultimate work and wonder of the Lord.